Hello, and welcome to Level 7's presentation of hacking your business. We hope you enjoy. The premise is that static websites have been replaced by very powerful dynamic web applications with tons of complex functionality, touching lots of critically sensitive data, such as credit cards, social security numbers, banking account information, healthcare information, and so on. So what's the problem? Businesses wanted software developers to focus on building functional websites, but not secure ones, thus creating an influx of millions of insecurely coded websites with severely critical security vulnerabilities that hackers could exploit. The purpose of this video is to show prospective business partners how easy and quickly a hacker could both hack and compromise your organization's website, stealing critically sensitive data such as credit cards, social security numbers, banking account information, and much more in the process. It is our hope that this opens your eyes to both how easily and quickly your organization's destiny can be changed. We hope you enjoy. Step 1, a functional walkthrough. In today's demonstration, we'll be looking at Altura Mutual, which is a banking web application. The intended purpose of Altura Mutual was to extend certain services to Altura Mutual's customer base. Specifically, things like logging in. As you can see, I've been able to log into my online banking account and with great detail be able to look at information pertaining to my checking and savings account information, which is really great. Functionally, that is why this web application was built. Remember, the key word being functionally. I can transfer funds, I could go and perform search functions, I could even contact the bank through a feedback form. So functionally, that is what this site was intended and built for. What about from a security vantage point? Remember, this site was built to functionally provide for certain services. Step 2, security holes in your website. Once again, we're at Altura Mutual, an online banking site. And remember, functionally it was built to do certain things, really fantastic things, for the banking customers, such as the search field. But what about if I tried to do something bad with this search field? Like what? Maybe cross-site scripting. Let's test to see if this search function is susceptible to cross-site scripting. And guess what? It is. In that brief demonstration, we were able to inject a cross-site scripting script into the search function, and it acted on it, proving cross-site scripting. The login. I don't have an account with this banking site. Okay, it works. It's not allowing me to log in because I don't have a username and password. I'm not a customer of this banking site. But what about from a security vantage point? What if I was able to, I don't know, maybe do a SQL injection attack against the login, allowing me to bypass the login? Let's see. So I'll simply put in some generic username. Remember, I'm not a customer of this banking site. I'm going to take a very, very simple SQL statement, 1 equals 1. And remember, there's no security built into this website. We'll put the 1 equals 1 in, and voila, I've been able to bypass the website's login mechanism, and I've been able to log in as the administrator. I'm sure you all understand the impact of this. I now, as a malicious user, am able to do anything with this online banking site that I want. Step 3, scanning. Now the fun part begins for us, the hacker. In step 3, you will see the true power of hacking. Typically, what a hacker will do is, as they've discovered security vulnerabilities manually within your web application, as you've seen in step 2, typically a hacker would now want to perform some type of a probe or scan of your website. A lot of you have never seen this before. There are a lot of tools out there today that are very expensive, such as AppScan, WebInspect, Veracode, White Hat, but they allow you essentially to probe an entire website or web application, detailing all of the security vulnerabilities that may be there. The main difference between performing a scan on a website and me manually walking through the website and discovering vulnerabilities is this thing can find thousands of vulnerabilities in seconds, whereas it would take me days to simply find tens of vulnerabilities. So as a hacker, after I've manually been able to discover a few vulnerabilities within your web application, now I'm simply going to perform a very in-depth scan of your web application to find all of the security vulnerabilities. The big thing here is you will never know. There's no way for you to ever tell that I've scanned or am scanning your website for security vulnerabilities. That leaves you at a big time disadvantage, because as I'm probing your web application to find all of the really big holes that I can exploit to exploit data, you'll never know. So please pay attention to this piece, and you'll be able to see just how a hacker now will be scanning your web application for vulnerabilities. As you can see, a number of web application vulnerabilities are being discovered by AppScan as it's running. We've got cross-site scripting, link injection, phishing through frames, a database error. Typically when you see that database error, that means that there's SQL injection or SQL injection vulnerability within your web application. This is very bad. All of these findings are very bad. And again, 9 out of 10 times, you will not know we're scanning, and also you will not know these vulnerabilities exist within your website. This is very serious. This is a large number of very critical and high security vulnerabilities that puts your business at tremendous risk, and also the very sensitive data that your business houses, such as credit card information, social security information, account information. Each one of these very, very critical security vulnerabilities allows me an entryway into your business through your website. And again, these are some of the worst security vulnerabilities you could ever find in a web application. The power of this type of tool is it allows me to fully understand the security posture of your web application in minutes. As you can see, I've almost discovered and ran a scan on your web application in its entirety in just minutes. And so in just a few more minutes, I will fully know every single security vulnerability that your web application has. And at that point, I would merely select which security vulnerability I'd like to exploit. Step 4, now hacking. This is where it hurts your business. This is where we go from theory to fact. Now the hacker will essentially hack into your business and steal very sensitive data, crippling your business. You will be on the news tonight, because now the hacker has identified specifically what security vulnerability within your website they will exploit. At this point, and in this example, you're now watching a hacker using a very popular program called SQL Map exploit your database, which contains all of your sensitive data. In this example, what you're seeing in real time is the hacker exploiting the SQL injection find that was found during the scanning in step 3. So essentially, using SQL Map, the hacker is now connecting to your database and pilfering all of the sensitive data within. Remember, at this point, the most sensitive data that you hold and house, your customer's sensitive data, has now been compromised. You've been breached. And now you're sure to be on the 6 o'clock news in the worst position you ever imagined. This could have all been prevented had you simply ran an application security test on your web application. So going forward, the takeaway from this video is simply test your website. Know your security posture. We can help.